Hi everyone. I have brought an interesting risk management scenario, a project risk management scenario in this video. And this is a long one. I'm going to read out the scenario. Please bear with me. And then I'm going to discuss it. This is actually an interesting one, so stay with me. Quickly, the scenario is a project is being planned in a remote area with limited access to vehicles and equipment. Additionally, the road to the site goes through a protected area, and the government has required the company to sign a contract that they will protect the environment and road from damage. The project manager decides that the best way to manage the risk is to deliver all the heavy equipment by themselves despite the significant added expense. This part, despite the significant added expense, is important. What type of risk response strategy is the project manager demonstrating? A, transfer, B, mitigate, C, accept, and D, avoid. This is a trick scenario. This is, and most of the people actually got it wrong when I posted it on my Friday poll. So I received around 50% response in option C, which is accept, followed by 27% in B, which is mitigate, and then the remaining in A and D respectively. Actually, the correct answer to this question is avoid, option B. And now I'm going to explain that why D, and then quickly I will talk about the ABC. See, a couple of constraints related to that project being planned in the remote area have been discussed in this scenario. So this is a project in remote area, and anybody can understand that when projects are planned and executed in remote area, then the constraints are very different with respect to resources, security, environmental hazard, and different type of situations, right? So this is one such project. So the first constraint is that in that remote area, the access to vehicle and equipment, which is needed as physical resources in the project, is limited. That's the first constraint. The second constraint is that only road that connects your location to the site, it goes through a protected area, right? And protected area means prohibited area or an area which requires some approvals to get access to. And one such approval is that government requires the company to sign a contract that they will protect the environment and road from damage. So of course, without that agreement, you can't get to that area, right? So that's a second constraint. And of course, with these two constraints, if the project manager, along with the resources, human resources, physical resources, has to actually get into that location, he has to make sure that everything is sorted so that there are no non-conformities, there are no regulatory, non-abidance and any kind of, government-related or and any other type of situations that may put the project on hold or maybe put the organization in the difficult situation. So he has to make sure of that. So he thought of managing this risk by delivering all the heavy equipment by themselves, like via some mechanism, so that they make sure that the equipment is there with all those constraints that are imposed by government with respect to that locality. And that, of course, added to cost. So what does avoid strategy talk about? Avoid strategy talks about exactly the same thing, that do whatever it takes to make sure that the risk does not occur. You are avoiding the risk. You are making the probability of the risk equivalent to zero. So project manager is doing everything possible. He is just making sure that no quality or resource or compliance or regulatory or any other type of constraints are coming in his way to jeopardize the project. So he's avoiding the risk. He's clearly avoiding the risk. And one other reason why avoiding is the right answer to this scenario is despite significant added expense. Because in case of avoid, if even if it takes to extend the plan, change the critical path, or maybe add more resources, add more expense, or maybe resource leveling, or whatever it takes to make it work, is actually done, which is being done over here, right? Project managers doing anything possible to make sure that that government related constraint is sorted, the equipment related constraint is sorted. So he's sorting out all the constraints, and for that he needs resources, he needs budgets, and he has those. He has got hold of those assets. So he's avoiding the risk, right? Now, why it is not transfer? Because he has not hired anyone to make to do the work for them. He clearly has not hired anyone. This is another strategy to make sure that it is avoided. Because hiring someone is kind of an uh, you know outsourcing the risk, which is like a type of mitigation. Transferring is also a type of mitigation. So he is not hiring someone. He's not outsourcing. He's not taking the risk on any supplier or any provider. It is not mitigation as well as some of the people have thought of. He is not mitigating. He is clearly making sure that whatever it takes, I do that. He is putting everything at stake. He is putting, he's taking all the chances, right? So he's not mitigating. This is not mitigate. He's not leaving any stones untouched. Mitigating would have been that project manager has tried his level best with the available resources, available budgets, and whatever was there in the contingency. No such uh, 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 no such description is there. We have hints in the question which talks about avoid. Significant added expense is one hint. By themselves is another hint. And those three constraints are also a hint that these are serious constraints. And if they are not taken care of, then project would be in difficult situation. Right? So this is also not mitigation, and clearly it is not accept. Clearly, I don't know why 50% people have gone for accept, but this is clearly not accept. Accept means, as a project manager, I'm accepting the risk. If it occurs, let it be. When the situation occurs, then we will see how we are going to fix that situation, which would come to us as an issue situation, which would demand workaround. That's going to be a very poor strategy in this situation. So it's a serious and jeopardizing situation. If accept is going to be the strategy, this is like the death of project management, I would say. So it is clearly not accept. Accept is any type of accept, be it active acceptance or passive acceptance. Passive acceptance is definitely unknown. But active acceptance is also not the case, because active acceptance says that you keep some budget, reserves, resources. In case the risk converts into issue, unknown risk converts into issue. Are you doing anything like that? No, you are actually trying everything out to not let that compliance or regulatory situation occurs. This is clearly not accept. This is the opposite of accept, which is avoid. Right? So in accept, you let the probability of risk to 100%, and then you take the action. In avoid, you let the probability of risk to 0%, and you make sure that the risk does not impact the project to even to like to a fraction of it. So it is avoid. Let me know in the comment area if this explanation makes sense. And if there are any follow-up queries, feel free to share that in the comment area. I will come back very soon with a new PMP scenario. Till then, take care.